Previously on Mighty Car Mods, we decided to do a complete rear end swap on the S30 and modernise everything with a kit from Techno Toy Tuning. With that underway, we've moved on to the front end with an updated steering rack and fully adjustable suspension. Meanwhile, we're finalising the wiring and getting the engine ready, because today on Mighty Car Mods, we are turning the key. Today's a big day. With all our test fitting done in the engine bay, we're installing these parts for the last time. Our Hypertune inlet manifold is being installed, and that is super exciting. With that done, our fuel rail can now be installed and then get connected up to the rest of the system. We need to make a couple of custom length hoses and then we are good to go. Now we can install all the custom front mount intercooler piping that Turbo Yoda has so beautifully crafted. After so many months of work, we're all super pumped that today is the day that this car is going to start. Our front mount pipes are going on without the use of a single silicone joiner, which keeps our Turbo Yoda very happy. Meanwhile, I'm installing two nutserts in the firewall. This tool allows the installation of a female thread through a piece of metal where you don't have access to tighten a nut on the other side of the material, and I'm using them to install our oil catch can. While we're working on the front of the car, Marty is underneath the back finishing off the rear end in preparation for installing our new big brake kit. It's also time to install our GFB response, which is a fully adjustable venting bias blow-off valve. Everything is really coming together, and now all we need to do is add brakes and fluids, and this RB-powered Fairlady is ready to rumble. Everything that you can see in front of you is the last of what has to go into our 240, 260, 280, S30 Datsun Fairlady Nissan.
Now it's already packed full of a lot of goodies. It's looking really good. It's come a long way, but there's some stuff still to go, like we've got some hubs, some brake discs, some calipers, some sway bars, some brakes. Did I say brakes?
That's exciting. I don't know if you said brakes, but we should say it again. Of course, so we removed the R33 brakes that were on the front, and we're going just wilwood on every corner. And Castrol sent us down all of our fluids. So we've got like our diff oil, we've got our coolant, we've got our oil, engine oil, brake fluid, and what's the last one again?
Gearbox oil.
Oh, the gearbox oil.
Diff oil. Did we say that too?
We said diff oil. Martin, we're getting excited. We're just getting overexcited.
So there's a lot of stuff in there already, but this is it. Some of it's a bit fiddly, like getting all these brake lines on and sway bars and stuff is going to be a bit fiddly, but it's so close.
But we've got the right people here to help us, of course. We've got Turbo Yoda and Mechanical Stig, and Dave from Haltech is dropping down to finish the last of the wiring.
Yep.
The car is going to start today, everybody.
Might even drive.
Yes, it might even turn, like today's the day.
It's going to need the wheel alignment of all wheel alignments.
Yes,
like
that's right.
There's so much adjustable stuff.
Yeah.
So it's probably going to drive like that.
Well, I was thinking like down the passenger side, we go full functional, and then we go stancy pants on the other side. So depending on how you park it, people are, oh, look at that, that's a car you can drive. And then stancy pants, everyone slips over in their own
genius.
fatness.
And everyone's happy, but depending what meet you're going to, you just reverse it in.
Yeah, and depending on which corner you're either going around or not.
So only go around left-hand corners fast and go the other side slow. Is that right?
Well, you can do either, can't you? Really? Let's do it. More power means you need more brakes. This car came with drum brakes on the rear, but we're upgrading to discs on all corners with a wilwood big brake kit. We'll also be running reconditioned hubs from a Nissan 180SX.
Some brand new and slightly longer wheel studs came supplied with our rear end kit, so I'm going to install them into the S13 wheel bearings. I can then attach the bearing and the rear brake caliper carrier onto the rear hubs. The front brakes are a little different, requiring the disc to be attached to an aluminium carrier using some supplied hex bolts. While that's happening, I'm getting the rear discs installed onto the hubs. They're solid but will provide plenty of rear braking for such a lightweight car.
With the hub and the disc on, Benny and I can slap on some Mighty Car Mods driveway ninja gloves and grease up the bearings.
I've got the rear calipers on, so now it's time to replace the diff oil. It's a good idea to do this with any second-hand diff, as the condition of the oil is always an unknown. I'm pumping in some Castrol limited slip diff oil using a hand pump, and when it runs out the filler hole, it's full and ready to seal up again.
I've got a 20-litre jerry can of 98 octane fuel so we can get the car running, but eventually we'll also be able to run it on E85. For now though, we have to go and replace all of the fluids throughout the whole car.
Since we have the shifter out anyway, an easy way to get gear oil into the gearbox is to remove the filler plug from the side of the box, then fill it through the shifter hole until it runs out the side. Being that our R34 gearbox fits so snugly up to the transmission tunnel, this makes it a lot easier.
Our engine oil's done, diff oil and the gearbox is done, and just look at it.
So we've made heaps of progress. How have you been doing, mate?
Good. I have a checklist.
Yes, I like a good old list.
We should cross it off. Handbrake line brackets.
I have no idea.
Turbo Yoda.
What?
Handbrake line brackets.
You haven't made them yet.
Okay,
No,
I haven't made them yet.
next.
CV nut torque and split pins. I've got to go
No.
buy. I've got to go buy split pins.
Dog bone bolts.
They're Imperial bolts, which we just don't have.
Oh, this was the update about how much stuff we've done.
We're good. Look.
Fuel. Yeah, I bought some fuel.
Check.
Coolant overflow.
Yep. No.
Catch can fitting. Well, I installed it. I've stuck it in there, but we don't have any of the rest of that to make that work.
Waiting for one
I
fitting.
thought this was going to be a really exciting update.
Lower wishbone through bolt. Done.
Oh, that's good.
So it's 2 out of.
Well, there's
Two
lots of
out of
other
7.
things that aren't on there that have been done though, like the front. Look at this.
Yes.
Hubs.
So good.
Amazing. Suspension done.
We got our rear brakes working.
The rear brakes are on.
Lines, handbrake cables are connected. The brake lines are connected. We had to schmingy those. So now we just got to attach the actual handbrake cable up into the car so it doesn't get hit by the system.
And Benny's over there now doing the passenger side.
We've done diff oil.
Brakes. And then I'm going to do this side.
Diff oil, gearbox oil's done, diff oil's done.
Engine oil's done.
Cool, I'll put some coolant in it once we worked out the overflow.
And then it is starting today.
Oh yeah, it would start now.
Really?
I think so, but maybe put some coolant first.
That's a good idea.
But it should crank and turn over.
That's pretty exciting. Should we just do the coolant now?
Yeah, I reckon we should.
And just get that done?
Yep.
And then, how are you going with brakes, Benny? How long over there, mate?
Pretty well done on this side.
Great. All right, I'll do this side.
That needs a caliper and some hoses. All right.
And happy days.
I'll find some coolant.
Let's do it.
One thing that we don't have yet is a coolant overflow bottle. So once we've got some coolant into the car, we're going to head down to the wreckers and try and find something that we can make work with our setup.
So we've just been down to the wreckers and we've got 2 coolant bottles. Now, some people use Coke cans and other stuff like that, but we wanted to go legit. So we've got one from a Mazda 6 and one from a Hilux, which is pretty awesome.
Hilux?
Yes. Look at it, like a boss. We didn't actually know which one would be right, so it's just a matter of seeing which one is going to fit, which is not that one. You can zoom into the bin. And Hilux, look at that. That's already got a bit of a bracket. We can probably cut the end of that off. Just mount that right there. And look at that. Was it a Hilux brake booster as well?
High Ace or Hilux?
High Ace?
Something like that.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Yep.
Dude, that's great. I'm going to mount that up, stick a hose in it, finish putting the coolant in, and then can we start it yet?
Almost.
Close. All right, let's do it.
I'm removing the bracket from our Hilux coolant overflow bottle and then modifying it so we can attach it to our radiator shroud. With the last piece of hose on, our cooling system is complete. Meanwhile, the back end of the car is also almost finished, with just a couple more bolts to put on and then it is done. So now the time has come. We can put some fuel in and turn the key for the very first time. This is the culmination of months of work, and we're about to finally hear this RB30 burst into life.
And cranking.
No spark. So
Key off.
we have fuel, but we may not have spark.
Well, we don't really even have fuel, do we?
We don't really have fuel, but we haven't shown anyone that yet, and we were going to keep it a secret.
Our dodgy fuel rig from Derek down here.
I'm just going to just grab this, because you definitely won't, use this, and just show how the fuel is being delivered currently into the. Oh look, it's Derek's fuel system. Look. Pumping it out of the tank, down into that, around the world, and into the car.
The fuel system that we installed is not working and making very strange noises.
Yeah.
And we will attempt to fix that later, but it means fuel tank out, big thing out, fuel pump out.
Test it.
Ignition's off, yeah. And test it and then reinstall it again. So for now, we're just using the Derek system.
I have this feeling like it's going to be a later night than we thought.
It always is, Martin. Sorry, what's that? Go ignition on.
Got coil power?
Yep. And then we will put that side again on ground.
Crank it. Okay.
You want me to check
And-
the pulse that comes through, yeah.
All right, and cranking.
Oh yeah, I think I can see the LED.
I love this bit. Who loves this bit? Who loves it? Don't everyone answer at once.
Close.
Cranking, go. What are we doing now? What's happening now?
Kill something, coils are on fire.
Smoke.
Let the smoke out. Very bad. Oh, I don't love that.
It was a very, very late night last night.
Yep.
There's a little cute Yoda all snuggled up in the corner in a onesie over there.
He's having a sleep.
It was a very late night with a number of concerning issues that were small yet annoying.
Small
My
yet
good friend will unveil them
Small yet-
for your gratification.
Small but smouldering. Smoke came out of stuff.
Yeah.
We don't know why. We're not sure whether it's because the car's rejecting the conversion or it's just a wire's wrong.
The purity was so intense that it was trying to squeeze out the thorn that is the RB.
Yeah. Or the RB was just showing how potent it is. And going, look at me, I'm going to
That's
smoke.
probably more likely.
So,
Or some wiring might not have been right.
We don't know. We don't know. Old car, new wiring, lots of bits that aren't supposed to be there. It's not the first time this has happened, PS. It happened with
And
Stagio as well.
the fuel system that we put in also wasn't working because it had some kind of setup for a carby system and therefore it was purging back into itself that way, not that way, because the pressure that was demanded of it was too high.
It had a relief valve in it, and so whenever the fuel pressure got over 5 psi, it just dumps it back into the tank, which is completely useless. So I had to block that off, and now we've got a good, 40 or 50 or whatever it's going to be.
Anyway, so to get things done today, we have got, where are they? We have new 35 coils.
Oh, they're here. We
Where
got lent some coils, actually.
We got lent some. Andrew Hawkins, Australia's, what do you call him?
Gadonk.
Australia's
Foremost.
RB Gadonk.
Foremost.
His foremost RB expert and entrepreneur. Anyway, we just called him and said, man, can you send us over some of these? He pulled this off his car, his 32, so that we can just kind of double check it with ours. And then if we blow his up, he'll have to buy some more.
Or we'll have to buy him some more. Is probably what will actually happen. So
like
there's a few things we have to do. We can't start this yet. We're still waiting for some more wiring, and Dave's going to come and have a look at it. But there's a few things we can do in the meantime, which is we can bleed brakes, we can check our suspension, we can
front
set
sway
it all
bar's
up.
got to go on.
Front sway bar's got to go in.
See if the wheels fit.
Back sway bar is not connected yet because it has to be on the ground before you can connect it properly. So there's a whole bunch of those little fiddly things that we're going to just smash out while we're waiting for this to happen.
We also just got off the phone with the engineer just to kind of give him a quick little foredoodling about everything that we've done, and that is all looking good.
Yep.
Because we do want the car obviously to be totally engineerable.
Road legal.
It hasn't been registered before in Australia because it's an import. That does make things a little bit more complicated. But we'll cross that bridge when we get to it, and we'll take you guys along for the ride because I know a lot of people have been asking us about engineering stuff. So we'll give you a bit of fan-doogling about that. So I think that's it, man.
It's fiddle time. Cue the fiddle music. Is there fiddle music?
There could be. Maybe not that. That was a bit weird.
No, that's weird.
What about this one? That's better.
That's better.
That's better. That's how big the night was last night. The poor guy, look at him. He wants out of here, I think, Martin. But see how that light's shining down behind his head? Almost as if he is somehow
angelic.
Evanescent. Look at him.
See, the car was just resisting the Yodiness, wasn't it? Like, it was like, I'm going to let smoke out. And he was like, it was like an epic battle with the lightsabers, only it was made out of smoke.
Look at him. Very attractive man and talented, isn't he?
I agree.
And a very nice guy, too.
Very nice guy.
Isn't he?
One of the nicest.
Guy. One of the nicest ones we've... Oh, yeah, didn't even hear any of those compliments.
Oh.
How are you feeling, mate? You all right?
We're getting there.
Okay.
Regardless of how well or not well our car runs at the moment, we have to make sure it can stop. So we need to give the brakes a final bleed. Just about every part of this braking system, except some hard lines, is new, so there'll be some air in there that needs to be squashed out. With that done, it's time to get the last of our suspension components installed, which are the front and rear sway bars. And it looks like Dave's had a bit of a fight on his hands with the ignition system.
We're going to get it there, man.
We will get there today.
The car's like, it's pushing back, like it's saying, no, don't give me an awesome 2.6 litre turbocharged engine.
Shut up. You know what's good for you?
So, Dave, is it... You were dreaming in wires.
Yeah.
Have you found the gremlin?
I think I have.
Was it a wire that was just wrong or something?
It was, yeah.
One wire out of how many hundred wires?
Was it really one wire?
It was one wire.
Oh, man.
That's
So now it's time.
Is it time?
We're gonna
Alan's going to touch it where we all want him to.
Touch it, Alan.
Touch it,
Come
Alan.
on.
Come on. You got this.
The operation has been a success. Our RB transplanted Fairlady is well and truly alive, thanks to a bunch of mad, talented mates who came along with us for the ride.
That cold start though. It's not even that loud. It's not even that loud.
How good is it?
Beautiful.
That's amazing.
Just drive it with a dump on it.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Yes. I'm so stoked.
What can I say? Not a whole lot. Marty and I bolted in some shit. These guys brought their brilliance.
Okay.
Mechanical Stig, of course, who's not here, but he just felt a rumbling down under, so didn't he, right
He would
now?
have felt it, man, right in between.
I don't really know what to say. It's been like months and months and months from the people taking our engine, but we know it's for a good cause. Stay calm. Losing our asbestos bits, and now putting this in.
But this, look at this. Like it actually looks like it's meant to be there too. It's awesome.
I can't believe that it started.
I can't
think
either.
sometimes I get like pessimistic near the end of projects because I'm scared. Do you know what I mean by that?
Oh, absolutely. That was the moment of truth. Let's
Yeah.
be honest. So,
Because also this is like a Gumtree engine too, right?
It's Gumtree engine, man. Hard.
Like, and so
Bits of slather where there shouldn't be.
just like our Gumtree diffs, we had to buy 5 of them for the 180. I didn't want to be buying 5 engines.
Yeah.
Did you?
Oil pressure straight away.
Even after messing with the pickup. Remember how much we messed with that pickup?
Yeah, we meaning him.
Yeah. all
And
of
Benny.
us.
It was amazing. How are you feeling, Al?
He's happy. That's him
Like
happy,
it's
man.
his
That's
one
him
word.
like
He's lost his
stoked.
mind.
He's not scowling, and that means he's stoked.
He's stoked.
He heard this
He was so irritated that it wouldn't start, and now it does. Man, you know what I think we should do?
How are you feeling, man?
I'm stoked. You know what I want to do? I'm so stoked. I can't wait to drive it. I actually had a dream about driving it last night that you lent it to me and I was allowed
Really?
to drive it. Yeah. Am I allowed to drive it?
Yeah. Well, anyone here? Are you saying do some donuts right now, or or does this mean we're all allowed to drive it?
Wind it up or?
Oh, I think we need to turn it up.
Oh,
Page
no,
up.
Page it up. Page up.
Page up.
Page up. Yeah.
No, you know what I think we should do?
Yeah, you can have a drive it, man.
Yeah.
Take it on date night.
You know what I think we should
We
do?
built this to be a panty dropper, right?
Yeah.
As in, whoever's driving it should be able to wear no pants when they
Drop no
drive it
pants.
for the full experience.